The pursuit of knowledge and meaning is one that is ingrained in every sentient creature. To understand oneself, to unveil the inner workings of the universe, and to trailblaze into new and unknown locales, these are but some examples of how the pursuit of knowledge can manifest. But for all our struggles, can sentient creatures truly reach a point someday in the future where we can perceive and understand the universe in all its entirety? According to the Aeon of the Enigmata, we can't. And more importantly, we shouldn't. To them, things in themselves are beyond perception, and entities such as humans are just incapable of envisioning the truth of the universe completely. And so it just becomes dangerous as no sentient creature will ever have or even understand the full picture. We should just accept the unknown for what it is and let mysteries remain as mysteries. But sentient creatures are often curious and downright stubborn, and this is why the followers of the Enigmata have devoted themselves to changing Wikipedia entries. In this video, we are going to explore Mythus, the Aeon of Enigmata, and the factions that follow them. Before we dive into the unknown, if you want to see more Honkai Star Rail content, do consider subscribing to the channel. The path of the Enigmata stands in opposition to any who wish to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Groups that wish to gain knowledge like the erudition or those who store important ones like the remembrance are all functionally enemies in the eyes of the Enigmata. The path of the Enigmata likely stems from the belief that not everything can be known and some things are better left unknown. Mythus, the Aeon of the Enigmata, purposefully shrouds knowledge by conjuring the fog of thought and rain of sensation, obscuring both future and past. While it might seem that the Enigmata is only concerned in ensuring most sentient beings remain ignorant of the universe, it isn't so cut and dry. One interpretation of why this obfuscation is needed is they wish to avoid stagnation of innovation. The future is often a trap. Once you know how the future might turn out, people tend to try and realize this future, especially if it's favorable to them, and avoid it if it isn't. All other possibilities cease to exist, and only the future which you have been told remains in your mind. One part of the Enigmata wishes to ensure that people are not caught up in traps such as this, that constrains them onto a singular path. By not knowing this future, an endless possibility awaits you. On the other hand, Mythus also believes that most, if not all sentient creatures are just incapable of understanding all knowledge that exists. Misunderstanding something as complex as all knowledge may cause untold damage, and the right information in the wrong hands can cause untold chaos, so it's just better to not think about it at all. True to its name, we don't actually know what Mythus even looks like. It's unclear if it even has a form, and perhaps it's just abstract smoke floating in the universe, a literal embodiment of the fog of the mind. What we do know though are the factions that follow Mythus and the path of Enigmata, which is surprising now that I think about it. I mean, I would imagine they would want to be anonymous instead of forming a group, but anyways, the first group is known as the History Fictionologists. The Fictionologists are a group of people who travel the universe with the sole intention of changing any records of history or the past itself. They will alter archived data, fabricate confusing alternatives, and when all else fails, outright destroy historical information. To the Fictionologists, the history of something, whether it's a planet or a culture or whatever, can largely influence how a group or civilization might move into the future. By changing and destroying history, they wish to ensure that these civilizations are not tied down by what happened in the past and remain open to all possibilities. On the surface, this might seem like a pretty good idea, except that history can act as lessons to be learned from, especially from mistakes that happened before. Those who forget history are condemned to repeat it. Removing all of this is an extremely close-minded approach, and while it may allow a certain civilization to embrace all possibilities, it may also cause them to repeat a past mistake or even regress. The worst thing is that by destroying history and the past, they are essentially destroying something that is very difficult to repair or replace. The ramifications of such actions affect the culture, moral values, and even how civilizations might operate. Because of this, they have a reputation almost as infamous as that of the Anti-Matter Legion and are seen to cause damage at an almost equal level. While the Fictionologists focus on obscuring the past and knowledge of history, the second group that follows the Enigmata focuses more on making things confusing for everyone. The riddlers obscure knowledge by changing and altering the medium of information exchange itself. language. This group functionally aims to undermine the clarity in any and all language. They introduce new and confusing terms, deconstruct text, change etymology and linguistics, and make up metaphors that mean something else completely. Their goal is not to reduce the capacity of communication, but make it difficult to derive meaning from any context. What they want is for a single word to carry 20 different meanings to 20 different people. Just imagine if the word planet had different meanings to everyone in Star Rail, and how confusing a conversation could turn out. Plus, expressing oneself and exchanging information becomes completely impossible. Luckily though, they aren't as prominent as the history fictionologists, though the impact of their actions are equally destructive. Now on the surface, both these factions may just appear to be akin to trolls screwing Wikipedia entries so that nobody can learn anything, but the impact of their actions are actually quite significant. Understanding can only come from proper communication and objective fact, and by removing both of these things, the chaos that would ensue is just unimaginable. If everyone got their facts wrong and couldn't even express themselves accurately through language, misunderstandings will abound, and it's only a short few steps from that to an all-out fight or war. But I doubt that those who venerate the Enigmata see it this way. To them, ignorance is likely bliss, and not knowing things that you have no business knowing in the first place may end up saving you. Not much else is known though about those who follow the Enigmata, but there are some who may actually be affiliated with them in some way. Olka Kakamon from the Genius Society could very well be a history fictionologist, while those who have obscured March's memories may also be affiliated with this group. The reality is that we just don't know, and I suspect that our lack of information on them is by design and not mere coincidence. Let me know who else you think might be a follower of Mythus in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. As usual, have a nice day.